about you. This is all about you, Jesus. And I'm sorry, Lord, for the things we made, where it's all about you. Should have stayed about you, Jesus. Coming back to the heart of worship, where it's all about you. I'm glad it's about you right now, right now. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. When it's all about you, when it's all about you, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the heart. No more show, no more gifts, God. It's all about you, God. It's all about you. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. Where it's all about you. Where it's all about you. You're looking into my heart. You're looking into my heart. You see beyond all my imperfections, God. You're looking into my heart. You're looking into my heart. You look beyond my fault and you see my needs. You're looking into my heart. I'm so glad you can see through. I'm so glad you can see through when you see what's inside of me. Oh, you're looking into my heart. You see beyond it all. You see beyond it all. You're looking into my heart. You're looking into my heart. Thank you, God. You're looking into my Worship has so many different forms, and so many of us have been taught what worship is, but a lot of times we haven't really been taught who is the center of the worship. And I wish before they taught me about singing, praying, preaching, they would have taught me about a protector, a provider, and a savior. And that's what this song is about. We can get so caught up in the mechanics, in the stage, in the harmony, in the instruments, in the microphone, in the practice, that we actually miss what it's all about. And so sometimes we have to apologize and say, you know what? I participated in the show. I participated in the performance. But right now, I want to make it all about you. Because we trust that where you are, God, your presence is. We trust where you are, your provision is. We trust where you are, your peace is. And so look past anything else that's going on. And God, just look into our hearts and who you created us to be. You're looking into my heart. You don't see me how I see myself. Looking into my heart. You're looking into my heart. You see someone who's made in your image, God. You're looking into my heart. Into my heart. Every time we brought our problems here and made it about us, God. You're looking into my heart. You're looking into my heart. We don't always feel like doing this thing, but please look into my heart. Not about me and you. You're looking into my heart. Not about me and you. Oh, you're looking in. You're looking in. What's going on, Reform? It is Pastor Russ here. I am excited to be joined by my wife, my rib, my ride or die, and First Lady, Lady K. And of course, October is a month where there's a few different awarenesses going on. One being breast cancer awareness, which I think is like very popular, as it should be. Another one that should be just as popular, that I haven't found to be as popular, is domestic violence awareness. And just to let you all know, I wasn't too aware of the topic until my college years, and I did an internship at the YWCA. And I remember people wearing these shirts that were like, "On Silence the Violence," and I thought it was a catchy slogan. I didn't really know fully what it meant. And the more involved I got with both the work on the front end of helping men figure out what manhood and masculinity is and a healthier version of masculinity, and then also seeing the work that goes into women and children and men on the back end of what happens to families and communities when violence like this occurs, and people are silent about it. People misunderstand it. It's tragic, and it was honestly one of my first God encounters. I encountered God and did the work of God outside the church for one of the first times. And so I have found that the work around domestic violence is not just good work. I found it to be God work. And so I invite you all to listen into this conversation, and feel free to comment, like, and share, because this is, again, not just good work, but when you're dealing with violence, when you're dealing with restoration, and things of that nature, you're really doing God work. And so I want to invite you into a conversation with myself and Lady K around domestic violence. So you ready, babe?
Yeah.
All right. So I have a few questions I wanted to ask you, and I look forward to hearing the replies. The first one is, when you hear the word domestic violence, what does it mean to you personally beyond the statistics? What does domestic violence mean to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. First, before we dive in, Pastor Russ, I first want to say thank you for creating this space. I remember the first time I was asked to speak about it, I was 17, because I went through it at a very young age. I was a teenager still. And I remember not even being able to get through it without crying. And so I still think that, like, the more that I live, there's parts of the story that comes to mind that I have to learn how to process again. So I'm grateful to be able to have a space where I can continue to process it, because sometimes we think that we are healed until something happens and we're triggered. And so I know that I still have work to do. And I hope that, God continues to open up doors for people who have gone through things like this, and they're able to share their story. And over time, the way that they look at their story, the story changes. So I first want to say thank you. What I think about when I hear domestic violence, I think about the scars that people don't see. I think about the internal impact that comes from dealing with someone who is like causing harm to the point to where they're using everything in their power to like break you down. I think about just kind of being in, like, it's really crazy, but I think about the sunken place of like where everything is so dark around you and it seems like you're just falling deeper and deeper into this darkness. That's kind of in a nutshell what I think about.
And I appreciate you for sharing that first person perspective, and being willing to speak about it and being vulnerable. What I'm blessed to see as a church leader is I've seen you work with numerous women who have dealt with domestic violence. And so for you, it wasn't just something that you dealt with personally and moved past it and pretended it didn't happen. But you've allowed your pain to birth a type of purpose and a ministry for other women who may experience this sunken place. So I appreciate that. What do you think what do you wish that people understood about survivors?
that leaving is not as easy as it seems. Um, I think when people look at it from a surface level, it's easy to say like, hey, if this is something that's causing you pain, like you should just walk away. Right? Like, you know that if a house is on fire, like you're not going to go towards it. Like, you know that if, like mama told you, don't touch the stove. Like, you know, little situations like that people try to compare being in an abusive relationship with. And I think it's super insensitive and it's completely off. Because when you're telling someone, like, just leave and you're better than that, like, yes, that all sounds good, but you're talking about someone that has been completely removed from who they knew themselves to be prior to this relationship. You're not confident, you don't know your worth, like, and they're able to get you to a place where it's like they have full control. And so it's really hard for you to see like what better looks like on the other side of it. It's really hard for you to see like that you or hear like that you are worthy when someone has told you over and over again, someone that you love, someone that you trusted, they tell you over and over again that you don't matter. And and so to just think that you can just get up and go, it's like, I don't even know who I am outside of this anymore. And that is, I think, what abusers, that's their target. Like, that's their goal, is to get you where they want you, to manipulate you and to have control, to isolate. And so when you say, I should leave because I'm better than that and I'm worthy of that, and then you even go so far sometimes and you quote scripture, like, to me, I don't need a sermon. I need safety. And I think that's where most people drop the ball, is because it's like, yeah, you should do better. And that's one area. A whole nother thing is to then I latch on to you because I'm looking for safety. And most of the time, people can't give survivors the safety that they need coming outside of that situation. And so I think it takes time, it takes understanding, and it may look different for each person, but it's more than just words. Survivors need presence. Not presence where it means that you're judging every situation that I'm sharing with you, but presence in, I'm willing to show up for you however you need me to be. And sometimes if that's just me sitting with you while I cry, if that's me, just coming to offer you something else, like it, whatever that looks like, just making sure that you remove yourself and try, even if you can't understand it, just stay away from the comments of like, you deserve better and you should just leave, because it's easier said than done.
Yeah, I think that's important. I hear two themes in that. The first one is like how people underestimate safety, which I think is huge, right? Like this is a relationship where violence has already been introduced.
Yeah.
And so even making a move to involve other people or even to leave, a lot of times there's that threat of how violent can this get. I think the second piece of what you said is really crucial, especially as we talk about church community, which is well-intended sayings that are not applicable to who you're saying it to, right? So just because you mean well doesn't mean that your statement is going to land well.
Right.
What can you give us an example of, like, you gave us some examples of what not to say. Can you give us an example of maybe something that could be helpful or beneficial to say to somebody if somebody opens up to you and shares this scenario with you?
Yeah. That's a really hard question. And it's really hard because, golly, Jesus. It's really hard when you're coming out of it. as tough as it is for people to say things like, I'm here for you, you should leave, things of that sort, it's even harder as somebody newly out of the situation to also hear things like, I love you and I care about you and I wouldn't do anything to harm you, right? Because that's what you heard prior to the first blow, right? Mm-hmm. You don't expect that the person who's doing this to you, that they will ever do anything like this. Mm-hmm. And so, I wish still that I could come up, like tell you, what would be helpful, because again, those are just statements that are used to get you into, like, let your guard down. I just know what not to say and what can cause more harm. And over time, as you continue to go through the journey of figuring out who this new person is, because that's what you will never get back to your old self. You figure out what your new identity is. You start being able to appreciate. You start being able to appreciate when people are around you and they do love you, but the statements are still triggering. When I finally left, what people around me said, but also while I was in it, a lot of my family knew. I grew up watching my mom get abused. So a lot of my family knew what I was going through, and they still told me, like, he loves you, like just kind of like catering to like what he was already saying and believing what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I remember how lonely it felt. To be finally saying enough is enough. And the people around you, not knowing it, but pushing you back into that because they feel as though that's what love is. Mm. That's what it looks like for somebody to care about you. That's what it looks like for someone that just wants the best from you. Mm. And this happened years ago, right? Like, Mac is about to be 16. This happened when I was pregnant with him from 2012. And it's still something that I'm still going through and figuring out and realizing that it's kind of like shattered glass, where it's like you think that you swept everything up. Mm. And then you end up stepping on something or grabbing something and then end up getting the most tiniest pieces. And I feel like that's what I'm dealing with, is like, it's just those smallest things that are still kind of happening from like that bigger fracture that happened so much longer ago, some time ago. So
what was the turning point or the moment that you knew something had to change?
Yeah, so I remember previously being with my abuser, or my child's father. I remember I was staying with my sister, and then I ended up living with them, moving to Iowa. That's where it all started. And so I was so used to like relying on them for shelter, because I knew like living with my family was just so inconsistent. Like there was no telling what was gonna happen. So I just remember like just bouncing around, and he was bouncing around. I didn't want to stay with his cousins. There was just a lot of falling out. And so I moved back with my mom. That didn't work. Moved with my cousin. That didn't work. He ended up moving to Atlanta with his family. And so I was like, I'm going to get in the shelter. my son deserves better. Like he was almost 1. And I remember it was so scary because I was the youngest person in the shelter. I'm around all these older women. Something new. It was just super scary. I didn't have a cell phone. Like, we all shared the same phone. So if somebody was to call me, somebody could pick it up and then they're going to call around the whole house like, hey, where's Shakira? Super crazy. But I remember we used to have to go to these groups at one of the other houses. And so they were sharing stories, and they was like, is there anybody that wants to share, your story? Like, have you ever been abused? And I didn't understand, like, what that was when she first said it. Like, I don't know how, but I was like, be abused? Like, what is that? Like, has anybody ever been physically harmed by somebody that they thought loved them? And I don't know what it was, but I just, like, jumped up. And so, like I said in the beginning, when I tried to tell my story, like, I was crying, and the amount of women that surrounded me and was like, you gave me strength because you are a baby. And you decided to say enough was enough. And even though being in the shelter is hard, you still said enough is enough, and I'm going to try to figure out what the future looks like. Even if that wasn't the words that you said, that's what your actions said. And it was like something woke up inside of me. Like, it just was like, dang, like, you really are doing something. And so that just kind of that kind of encouraged me to kind of figure out what that could lead me to. And so that was the first time that I was like, okay, I feel safe. I don't have to worry about like somebody just randomly coming in, pulling me out the bed, fighting me. Like, it's secure. Nobody knows where I am because you can't disclose any information. You can't invite anybody over there. Like, it's super secretive. Like, I just felt super protected. And I got to control like how I woke up and how I went to sleep. And I didn't feel afraid, which let me know that, like, I still had a chance. And so that would have been the turning point for me. It was as if like so many people wanted me to create my escape plan, but God was creating my escape plan right before my eyes, and I didn't see it as such. So when people was like, how did you get out? And I'm like, I don't know. I just followed, because at the time I didn't go to church. I didn't believe in God. I just remember like many a times just crying out like, whatever you are. Like, I felt something. I was like, whatever you are, like, please, like, help me. And I believe the entire time. I can give you so many instances that happened where I'm like, it was nobody else. It was nobody else. And I know it's not even to sound like churchy or anything, but it was really true. Like, from the times that I was laying on the floor and my whole face was like bloody. Like, and I remember it was almost as if it was like I became numb to every blow. And when I got up and people was like, dang, like when they see me, but I didn't feel like what I looked like. Because I felt like I literally was protected. So yeah, I'm still finding myself. I had to, it's really crazy because I feel like dealing with like this healing journey, I feel like I'm on turtle time. Like, as crazy as it sounds, like I don't know. I think that I had to go back to it. So, every time that I thought that I needed to be with him, something else changed. So, to answer this is just, let me go back. After, like, I got on my feet and stuff, got in my own place, left the shelter, I did feel a little bit more confident, and I was happy because I didn't have to worry about getting put out by nobody. I didn't have to worry about nothing. And I started to conversate with him again. Like, he wanted to see his son, like he was back. And, I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm perfectly fine. Like, I ain't got to worry about this. Like, I'm a different person. And it was something about him coming back that I end up going back to the same person I was before when he met me. And so what it revealed was that, like, I literally was looking for love. Like, I just felt so disconnected from my family, my mom, my dad. Like, I loved my dad, and my dad just was so absent. My mom at the time, love her to death. This is not to say anything against her. Like, this is literally like just what I personally felt at the time. I just felt like I was the oddball. Like, my mom didn't love me. I just repeated all the things she said about me. And so I was looking for love. Like, my heart desired to have somebody see me, to care so much about me that they wanted to provide for me. They wanted to make sure I ate, make sure that I had clothes on my back, make sure I had a roof over my head, and just ask me like how I'm doing. And he did all of that. Like, he used to walk around just throwing money away. So I used to be like, if I wanted it, he got it. And so what it revealed to me is that I was looking for something in him that ultimately needed to come from my parents or like my family, like wherever it started from. And so I knew it was my problem, but I didn't know how to move forward. Because for me, the way that love was introduced to me was, love hurts. Love is a black eye. Love is a busted lip. Love is somebody telling you that they're sorry and then turn right back around and do it again. Love is cussing you out, telling you to shut up. Love is literally bringing multiple different females in and having sex with them in the bed that you're supposed to share. Camera. Okay. Love is not able to keep like your word. Like, love was all of these different things, and so I loved like that for a really long time. I mean, a really long time. It wasn't until within the past few years that I realized that I had an issue with understanding what love was. And so I'm still understanding what love is, but it's scary. And sometimes I get held up with like fear, because I know most people are like, oh, you got to be faithful, and you got to, that faith is really hard to have when you have trust issues, because people have introduced these things that you value to you in an unhealthy way. And how do you learn how to see these things or even see yourself in a positive light or in a healthy way when you don't know anything else and your whole environment is different? So it wasn't until actually I moved to Tennessee and I got away from a lot of stuff. A lot of people be like, I looked at you and I seen that you were doing great. You had a job, like you had a car, you were dealing with so much. But what most people don't know is I ended up putting myself not back in a physically like abusive relationship, but I put myself and my kids back in an emotional and mentally abusive situation, whichever way you put it, they all have the same impact. And so it wasn't until I got away from everything and it was just me and the kids here. I couldn't blame my mom. I couldn't blame my dad. I couldn't blame any of my abusers, really. I had to look within myself and really fight not fight with just myself, but also fight with people who actually was trying to love me. I had to go to school and be around people who understood communication, understood relationships, things like that. I had to deal with you, and your challenging a way of life,
To say the least.
to say the least. But no, it's been helpful because it has allowed me to get outside of that box that held me back for so long. And so again, a lot of people would be like, I would have thought that you would have been on the other side of it, but I'm still learning how to love my kids the right way, love you the right way, love extended family the right way, in-laws the right way, friends the right way, co-workers, because love looks different, but it is exactly what the Bible says. It is kind, it is patient, and those are things that I had to first give to myself before I was able to, one, receive it from other people, but so that I could make sure that I was getting the right thing and not being love bombed. As well as I was making sure that I was not abusing other people either, because I think holding on to it for so long, that pain formed like a hardened heart that I naturally became an abuser without even knowing. And that was still something I had to work through. So it's still something that I am learning, because love is very complicated to a certain extent. And making sure that I love people how they want to be loved, not in the way that I see love at the time, because the way that I love is still wrong. So where I see God's presence now, is a lot of what I expected from other people. People as in my parents, my family, mainly my parents. A lot of this stems from childhood stuff. I see God being able to give me comfort, and support in the ways that I needed my dad to. Like, I know for a fact that when I call on my daddy, that no matter what, like, I feel like I'm going to be okay. Like, none of what I need is attached to a person anymore, like a physical person. It's all connected to a spirit, like God's spirit, just a higher power. And because of that, I'm able to be to my parents, my family, whomever. I'm able to be to them what I expected and needed from them, if that makes sense. Because when I'm weak, God is strong. Like, and I lean on that really heavy, because I know that when I cry, my tears are communicating something that I need, and I don't have to worry about the burden of trying to get people to understand what I feel or who I am now. Because I think a lot of the times, I feel like I'm misunderstood, because what I think most people don't understand is as I'm trying to accept the person that I now have to be. It's really hard, and so there's anger, of course, frustration, like I'm sad, I'm embarrassed, like there's so many things. So people misunderstand a lot of who I am as like, oh, she's mean. But it's me needing to make sure that I put up a guard because I feel like I have to protect myself. Until then, I'm like, God, you show me, you tell me. And I have to take my time because even as much as at the same time of me saying like I trust God's presence and these are things that I lean on to, there's parts of me that just overall have trust issues. Mm-hmm. And I think what God has shown me is that God is big enough to be able to like accept that, where men cannot. And because of that, it has helped me. It has helped me lean onto those areas a lot more and not feel obligated to be able to share everything with everybody, because again, everybody's not going to understand, and they're going to associate the wrong reasons to like your behavior, when they like I sometimes don't even have the words to say. Like I just started learning about what triggers are like just a few years ago, right? Because I just used to get frustrated and I'm like, dang, here I am, schizophrenic and bipolar. Like it like no, what it is something just happened that just triggered you to where now you smell like the last time where you were laying on the basement floor and you could smell like mold and mildew, and it's just you and your baby. He's only 3 months and he randomly comes in and throws you on the ground and fucking start kicking you with a Timberland, right? Like that is a real, when you have that flashback, it's like you have to keep starting over. That's really what it feels like. But every time that it happens, I get to see God in a different light. Because it's like it happens, but now I get stronger every time. And I'm just grateful to be able to not be where I was in the beginning, where I didn't see myself having a husband. I didn't see myself being able to just have a life where I don't have to worry about if I'm going to do something or not do something and someone is going to come and try to hurt me. Like I don't have to worry about just overall safety. And I feel like that's another reason how God, or another example how God is able to be present by giving me him in a God in a man form, because you are so patient, you are so kind, you are so loving, you do prioritize safety. And as hard as it is, no matter what, like you see me, you see deeper than what's on the surface, and you don't ever let me. I remember when we first had to have our tough conversation. At this time, it wasn't even like, we weren't even a thing. And I was like, it felt like I had a frog in my throat. Like it felt like I was about to poop on myself. Like it was just so many different things that was happening. But I'm thankful for that, because you've given me a space and the ability to be able to talk to you even when it don't make sense. Even when my words are like scrambled and you're trying to figure out what letter is missing, like, and so I think that for me now, being on this side of it, that would be how I see God's presence is really through you. Like God was like, you know what? You see me about this much, and you see that this is, but let me give you in a man form, and you're everything that God was for me in a time, because I still feel kind of weird because I'm like, I don't see you, so I feel like I believe in ghosts and I don't believe in ghosts, so you gonna have to show up. And I remember that being my prayer, like, I'm gonna need you to show up, like, you gonna have to show me you real. And I think God has done that with putting you in my life, not just as my husband, but first as my friend, as my pastor, as my baby daddy, as my husband. And you've been able to cater to different parts of me because of the different parts of you that you have allowed me to gain access to, but ultimately what God has created you to be. And so that's my answer.
Well, I love you.
I love you more. Thank you all for tuning in. I pray that this was beneficial to you, or to someone you may know that may be going through this. I wanted to take the time to share with you all a letter that I wrote to my younger self, and pray that this continues to encourage you. And as you hear this, you're able to take the time to sit down and write to your younger self, not just as somebody who may have dealt with the abuse in a physical form, but even if it's emotional, mental, whatever it may be, that you take the time to be able to encourage your younger self. What I would tell my younger self: I'll tell you I see you, not the smile you wear to survive, but the exhaustion behind it. I see how you keep making yourself smaller just to keep the peace, how you try to love someone who doesn't know what love is. I know you think you can fix it if you just pray harder, love deeper, stay longer. But you can't heal someone who's committed to breaking you. You don't deserve the blame that was placed on you. The yelling wasn't your fault. The silence wasn't peace. The tears weren't weakness. They were signals that your spirit was still alive. You've been surviving so long you forgot that you were made to live. One day, you'll walk away, not because you stopped loving, but because you finally started loving you. And when you do, life won't magically get easier, but it will start to make sense. You'll rebuild from the inside out. You'll cry in safe places. You'll laugh again without checking who's watching. And the God you doubted, you'll come to see that God was there in every tear, every door that opened, every ounce of strength that appeared out of nowhere. You didn't see God because you were in survival mode, but God never left you. You will be free. You will be whole. And one day you'll tell your story, not from the place of pain, but from power. So hold on, old me. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're not unlovable. You're just becoming.